Here we go. First day of working on fixing plantar fasciitis. So you're gonna take a lacrosse ball or a golf ball, something hard. You'll put it down under your foot, and then from there, you're just gonna spend 3 minutes per foot, just slowly rolling back and forth. You can do this seated. It puts less pressure into the ball, but basically this should be uncomfortable. And the aim here is that you're gonna go from the big toe down the inside of your foot all the way to your heel, and then you'll reverse that going up the other direction. Then you'll go from your second toe, basically stripe that line of tissue back all the way to your heel, and then again slowly reverse that back out. Then from there you'll go to the third toe, and then the fourth toe, and the fifth toe. Ultimately, this should be uncomfortable. You're pushing as much pressure down into the ball as you can. Trying to have steady breathing, trying to relax that foot to the best of your ability, which I know is a challenging thing to do because it hurts. Spend 3 minutes per side. Then, movement number 2, we're gonna do some big toe holds, and we're gonna work on that range of motion. So if you take a box or something that you can put your foot up against to, I'm gonna come into extension. So I'm gonna have my big toe, the ankle, or the joint of that is going to be pressing into the floor, and I'm going to be stretching. Now, the more I'm further back, the less there's going to be a stretch. As I move up, the deeper the stretch. So first, what you're going to do is you'll spend a minute just holding this stretch. You should feel a good pull through the bottom of the arch. It shouldn't be eliciting anything that you would deem painful, but that said, you should feel a good stretch. Then from here, we're gonna do some active work. So I'm not gonna move the position, but in this position, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push my big toe as if I'm trying to push the box away or pushing down like this. But obviously the box is gonna make it so it's not gonna move. So I'm isometrically pushing as hard as I can, and I'm gonna gradually ramp up to as hard as I can into the box. And I'm gonna do that for 20 seconds, gradually pushing harder and harder and harder, which should elicit more activation through the bottom of the foot. Once the clock hits 20 seconds, I'm going to relax, stay in the position, and then I'm going to try to pull my toes up. And I'm going to try to flex the tissue that's on the top side of the foot as if I'm trying to pull my toe off the box. Because I'm at end range, you're not going to actually see it come off because I want to keep the mound of the bottom of the foot, the ball of the foot, down into the floor, but I'm actively trying to pull back up. So what would consider 1 rep would be 20 seconds of pushing into the box, 10 seconds trying aggressively to pull your big toe off the box, firing the top side of the tissue. You'll do 4 reps of that per foot. So movement number 3, what we're gonna do here, supporting yourself onto a countertop or a box, I'm gonna come up onto my toes. I'm gonna reach my toes long, and then from there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive my knees forward, trying to keep as high onto my toes as I can, and then I'm gonna ease back out. Then I'll re-drive forward, getting that good stretch through the whole foot. As I pull down, I'm trying to pull my toes up towards my shins. As I go to come up, I'm trying to curl my toes or use my toes to push myself back out. And then the 2 more movements that we're gonna have here is going to be a gastroc stretch. So you have 2 muscles in your lower leg, soleus and the gastroc, and you stretch one from a bent knee, and the gastroc, the soleus would be from a bent knee, and the gastroc is from a straight leg. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this against the wall, and I'm gonna drive my heel into the ground, and then I'm gonna find my stretch by pushing my hips forward. You should feel a good pull through your calf. Again, nothing painful. It might be mildly provide a little bit of discomfort, but it shouldn't be anything that's alarming. Once you find a good stretch, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 4 reps of 20 seconds trying to push my whole foot like I'm pushing down on a gas pedal, or I'm trying to slide the box away. That creates activation through the back side of the calf. Then I'm gonna spend 10 seconds trying to pull up this way, firing the stuff on the anterior side of the shin, and I'm trying to pull up. Then I can let that relax, and again, I'll do 4 reps per side. Now, the final piece that we wanna do here is a hip flexor stretch. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come down to a knee. You can pad the back leg, and from here, I'm gonna tuck my hips under so I'm not letting myself arch my lower back. So keeping hips tucked under, I'm gonna drive my hips forward so I feel a stretch through the front of the right hip, the knee that's back that hip. Again, I'm gonna spend a minute just finding the deep stretch. Once I found that, then I'm going to do the same thing, 20 seconds. And this time what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to drag my knee forward. Because the floor provides too much resistance, it's not gonna go anywhere, but I'm dragging forward as hard as I can for 20 seconds, which will and should increase the stretch demand on the front of the hip. After 20 seconds, I'm going to try to slide my knee away as if I'm creating a bigger distance here, firing the hamstring and the glute for 10 seconds. Then I'll relax, and again, I'll do 4 reps, that being 1 rep, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. I'll do 4 reps per side. So that's session 1, working on curing plantar fasciitis.